So now that there's the ability to do it here in Island Health, they're still validating the testing that they're doing here. So it's called presumptive positive when it's positive here, and it's confirmed at the BC CDC lab. But in general, by the time the swab gets into the lab, it's within 24 hours that you have a result.
So that's why there's a delay here, so that if you're in Island Health case, you would get swabbed, you might get a presumptive reading or one.
Yeah, so up until a week ago, the test got sent to the BC CDC lab. And as I said, once it gets to the lab, it's within 24 hours that the test result is gone. But sometimes it was a delay to get to the lab. Now that the lab here in Island Health, and there's one in Kelowna General and St. Paul's and VGH and the Lower Mainland are able to do it as well. So the Island Health test will come back first, and then they send it to BC CDC to confirm it. But so the test that we announced today is a presumptive positive because it was done in Island Health. It will be confirmed. I have no doubt that they're using the same methodology, that they'll confirm it at BC CDC.
And so there was no delays. There's no delay in announcing this today, for example.
It take how many days until you get the full result or the positive result from testing?
The test is positive today, right? So it's just confirming that the test was done properly by the BC CDC. So all the measures that we're taking for the individual who's positive started when he was suspected of having this and was having taken the test. So he was in isolation. He remains in isolation at home.
Okay, we have Tanya Fletcher on the phone, and then we'll wrap things up.
Hi, Minister. I know you guys have kind of touched on this already, but regarding all of the, looking in Washington State, the school cancellations and the sporting events, could you just explicitly explain to people who is in charge of making those decisions here in BC, and maybe, for example, give the difference between something like a public school closure versus a university versus, private sporting events, like who would decide who to shut down a Canucks game, and the advice that would be given?
You go ahead. We'll do that after you.
Two levels in that. So if I felt that there was that it was an action that needed to be taken to reduce the transmission, to protect the public, and that we were in that situation, I can, under the Public Health Act, order events to be cancelled. And that's some of the provisions that they've done under their state of emergency in Washington State. Right now, I don't believe that widespread, quite not very refined method is what we need right now. We provide advice to schools, we provide advice to universities. If I provide advice to close, most of them would, of course, follow that advice. And if I felt there was a compelling need for them to do that, or the MHO in their local area felt there was a compelling need for them to cancel an event or not hold an event, we have the ability to do that voluntarily or to order them to do that. Having said that, if there's events for which we're doing a risk assessment with them and we feel that there's not a risk to the community and that the risks at the event can be mitigated, then it's up to them to decide whether they want to go ahead with that event or not. And as I've mentioned with the schools, we have not provided the advice to any schools so far that they need to close. However, the schools are able to take those decisions themselves to do the measures that they feel are important for their community. So we're kind of in that in-between phase.
Thank you. That's good.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.